Tonight I'm overexcited because I have a whole crowd here. I have number one, drop dead gorgeous men around the house. How am I supposed to keep my concentration? I'm getting a little bit. George Santana's in the house. I'm glad you're here, George. Mike Pirozzi, that's your brother, right? Nephew. Your nephew. Okay, your nephew, because he looks, a little younger than you, right, Mike? A little younger, but that's okay, just a bit. And of course, tonight I always talk about stage work and films and music, but tonight we're gonna have a different topic. I'm gonna keep it in the QT for now because they are going to do that introduction, so I'm just gonna keep it quiet. Before we jump into the conversation, I would love to mention that I was in the theater last week. I went to see two different plays, The Vanishing Play, taking place right on St. Mark's Church, right on 10th Street on 2nd Avenue, right on the corner. Great production, very different, very challenging. Gina Bonatti, member of the Actors Studio, she was part of it. Gina, I love you. I'm so proud of you. Beautiful work. People should go and see it. And the second play was on Wednesday night. I went to see the Three-Penny Opera by Bertolt Brecht, one of my favorite playwrights all time. What a wonderful production. This is such a difficult play to direct. It's song after song after song after song for almost 3 hours. Very challenging, very difficult, and the actors pull it off in such a way that I tell you, Lenny Leibovitz, it's a whole last thing. I got to take a whole class here. But Lenny, he was a director. He's such a young guy, so brilliant. Great cast. This is the kind of show that you guys got to go and see. Okay? And I want to give a shout out to my friend Michael Aronoff. We're talking with George Santana. Personal of Interest, right? That's the name of the show, CBS? Last night, Michael, I saw you, man. You blew me away. You're so damn talented and so damn hot that you're a star. I'm so, so proud of you. I really want to mention that because it's very exciting. But anyway, enough about acting. Now, these men are going to do the talking. And me, I'm going to keep it very nice and quiet. You see how can I play with my voice? You see that? You like that? Huh. Okay, well, we're going to start with Victor. If we can have a camera number one, and we can have this beautiful shot right there, Victor. I think it's great. You can definitely do it.
Thank you, Sissy. Hello, my name is Victor Murata. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of VMP Holdings, LLC. VMP Holdings is an authorized reseller of the Illum mobile software application that's solely focused on preventing distracted driving.
And Dan?
And my name is Dan Mayer. I'm the Vice President of Sales at Illum Software. I've had the pleasure of working with VMP Holdings now for the past few months, and we're very excited about talking to you tonight about our application and what we bring to market.
Yeah, can we bring it on? Distracting driving, this is a hot topic.
It's a very hot topic.
Right, everywhere.
It's a hot topic, it's everywhere, and it affects a lot of people every year.
Right.
1.5 million accidents, Sissy, every year
taking place
are
every
cell
year.
phone related.
Yeah, people are addicted to the cell phone, and when they're driving, why? How does it work? If people are aware that they can be in danger, that people know what they do? It's like if you know you're going to do something that's going to hurt you, why are you going to do it anyway? Why?
Because it's a behavioral problem.
Okay.
And that's why we feel there needs to be a piece of technology to address the problem.
Okay.
People understand that texting while driving is not a good thing to do.
Right, but they keep doing it.
But they keep doing it.
Right?
There was a survey done about a year ago.
Uh-huh.
A sampling of people, about half the people admitted to emailing and texting while driving. 97% of them said that there should be laws banning it.
Right.
So what does that mean? It means people are being, number one, very naive, but at the same time, it just continues to happen.
Right.
It's a behavioral problem, and that's the
Right.
key issue.
So how do we stop it? How do you stop it?
Well, I think the biggest thing that we can do is understand that it is a addiction. Texting, using your email, driving, doing that all at the same time is a behavioral problem. And we've got a piece of technology that helps address that.
Can we show that piece of technology? I don't know if we can do that, but I would love to get a zoom in, Dean Lauren. Don't be afraid of your own shadow, baby. And forget about me, because it's not about me, it's about them. Okay, so can we have a nice close-up with the camera number 2? You get a little closer. Take me out of the shot because I don't exist. And forget about the flowers. There you go.
So there's our application, Sissy.
Okay.
It's GPS enabled. So it detects movement. Once you hit 5 miles per hour, the app turns on. It's always on.
Okay.
You don't need to turn it off or on when you're driving.
Automatically.
Automatically kicks on. And when it's on, you're unable to text, email. Unfortunately, you can't update your Facebook page.
Oh, wow.
You can't tweet.
Uh-huh.
You can call 911.
Okay.
So heaven forbid you're in an accident, you could call 911.
Right.
And you can call up to 3 what we call whitelisted numbers. And those are numbers like a parent, a grandparent, depending on who you want to program into the phone.
Right.
But that's it.
But in fact, how does it work with the technology? How, I mean, the users, how does it work?
So it works on most smartphones.
Okay.
It uses the, if you have a data plan for your smartphone, which if you have a smartphone, you have a data plan.
Okay.
You activate GPS, and when you upload and install the application, it takes about 2 minutes to load.
It's easy to do.
Very easy to do. Takes 2 minutes, you reboot your phone, you're up and running. It's literally that simple to go ahead and install and use. It detects your GPS signal, and once it detects movement, the app goes ahead and kicks on, and when you stop moving, it basically clicks off. So it's automatic. It knows when you're moving, so when you're moving, you should be focused on driving.
Right, but people, this is like, I mean, it's very hard. I mean, people that were driving, they're obsessed with the texting, with answering the phones. I mean, it's not more, I think it's a sickness, like you said, it's an addiction.
It's an addiction.
It's a sickness, truly.
I mean, that's one of the things that, differentiates the Illume software
From
from
the rest?
other, because it's GPS enabled, so it, once it recognizes that you're in movement, it's forcing compliance with the non-texting and non-browsing and non-Facebook updating. It's forcing you. You don't have to manually activate the app. You don't have to turn it on, turn it off, because most people won't do that.
Right.
But once you have the app loaded onto your phone and you're moving, the app kicks in. Once you stop, the app disengages, and you could do whatever you want to do with your phone as normal. It's just a way of enforcing compliance with the non-texting, non-browsing type behavior.
Okay, what about laws and regulations? How does it work?
That's a great question, Sissy.
Right.
So it's definitely state by state. The state of New York has some of the strictest legislation out there.
Okay.
They recently moved texting while driving to a primary offense. New York is also one of the 9 states out there that mandates that you're hands-free while driving or while operating a vehicle. But what's happening is that's not enough. You can have laws, you can have regulations, but if
Still-
you're not enforcing it, meaning if police officers aren't able to give you a ticket, in a lot of states, you have to have a broken taillight, or you have to have an expired registration or bad inspection sticker to get a ticket.
Right.
The state of New York has done a great job in increasing the legislation by making it a primary offense. So what ends up happening is it's becoming more and more prevalent, but the laws, unfortunately, are not strict enough, and there
Right.
isn't enough way to
But why
enforce
they're
it.
not strict enough? What do you think? Why they're not strict enough? If your life is in danger,
That's right.
why they're not strict enough?
And I think it goes back to that behavioral problem. I think people want to feel connected, Sissy. They want to feel like they know what's going on. If you get a text message and you hear that ding in your phone, what do?
You know what, to be honest with you, that's a good one. You see, you make me think. Now you're doing
See?
my job.
That's
Now
right.
You're doing my
I'm
job.
the one interviewing you for
Now
your
you're
show
interviewing.
tonight, you know?
Okay, let me take the back seat.
We're going to
If
have
I
to give
get a
Sissy an
text-
ISOP application.
Guys, if I get a text, you know what, honestly, many times, I'm not into texting. I'm an old-fashioned woman. I said it to you before.
Okay, you did tell us that.
I said it, baby. I said it. I'm not much into texting. My friends, they text me an address or to go and see a play, to go and see a show, and I keep missing it. I don't know. I'm just not addicted to it. But you never
But how many
know.
of your friends, when they hear that ding, what's the first thing they do? They go immediately to the phone,
You
right?
have to. But guys,
it's almost like a dog when they
It's
see a
like-
tennis ball or something. It's
But
boom, you know?
technology is there. The world's a smaller place.
That's right.
But unfortunately, a lot of people don't know that this technology exists, Sissy, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get the awareness out there.
That's what I want to hear about. How do you educate the people?
And that's a big thing, and that's one of the reasons why we're really happy to be here tonight. But we've got to get advocacy out there. We have to get people understanding it's not just about saying it's a bad thing to do. There are horrific stories out there of teenagers and young people that have died while texting or utilizing their phone. There are soldiers that can make it through Iraq and Afghanistan, but when they get home, they get killed because someone's updating their Facebook page. That can't happen.
Right.
We have to stop that from happening.
Right.
And until we as a whole society, take a deeper look at this issue, that's where Illume software comes in.
And what do you think of networks, like big networks, CNN, NBC, CBS? I mean, what do we need to hear more about this awareness? How can we make that happen?
Yeah, I think it's not only awareness, to your point, but I think it's a matter of also making it easier to adopt,
Right.
easier to use,
Right.
and becoming kind of a standard place.
And what makes this better? What makes this a better option for the customer?
The key reason that this makes it better is that it's always on.
Okay.
You don't have to
That's the
physically
key.
turn it off
Answer
or
it.
on. That's
It's
right.
always on.
Other solutions, you have to turn it on before you get in your car or before you start your vehicle. Name one person that is going to turn an app on their phone to prevent them from texting while driving. I don't know
Especially a teenager. They're
Right.
not going to do that.
No.
And if your teenager tries to disable the Eyes Up application, you as the parent are going to get an alert to tell you that they have disabled this application while they were driving, so you could take remedial measures to make sure that they don't do that again.
Okay. Marketing strategies.
That's right.
That's correct.
That's one thing. The other thing we need to do, Sissy, is we need to work closer with insurance companies.
Okay.
One of the
That's a
things-
good point. I want to hear about that.
Yeah, so one of the things that we're doing, and we're in very initial discussions, unfortunately, we'd like them to be more advanced, but we're working with them to find the right ways to incent customers to use the application. And so that's a big initiative. To your point, what's going to make people want to get this?
Right.
Put it on their phone.
Right.
People need to be incented to do it.
Right.
People need to be incented to have something like this on their phone.
Right.
And that's one avenue that we're looking at.
Okay. People can be stubborn too. Right? People are tough.
Yeah.
Victor, what are you thinking? You're thinking too much right now. You look at me like,
Yeah, I'm-
where is she coming from with that?
No,
Where is
no.
she coming from
No,
with that
actually,
one?
Sissy, I was thinking, you were talking about education and awareness, and one of the reasons that VMP partnered with Illume is because we thought it was an excellent idea that Illume contributed 5% of their net income to organizations that raise awareness and educate businesses and consumers on the dangers of distracted driving, and VMP has agreed to match that 5% contribution. So basically, between the two of us, we're going to contribute 10% of our earnings to organizations that
That's
are going to
beautiful.
raise awareness,
Good.
educate consumers, educate businesses
needed.
on the dangers.
I hear that sound. Is that your Vip? I heard the sound. Do you miss it? Do you guys hear it? No, it was George. I'm sorry, George. I love you, baby. I love you. We're all full of life here. We're all full of life because this is very interesting because you know what? People that I guess are addicted to texting and the phones. I mean, it shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be
It
allowed.
really is a distraction. It really is. It really prevents you from paying attention to what's going on the road. And
mean-
it takes a second to get into an accident.
Yes.
Sissy, a second.
Yes. Yes.
So there's been some new regulations passed, Sissy, on the commercial side that I think it's important to talk about for
Yes.
a minute. So if you're operating a commercial vehicle, there's about 4 million commercially licensed drivers out there today. There was new legislation passed here in January that severely increased the fines that got levied to drivers that were using their phone in a handheld fashion. And those tickets are $2,750
It's a lot of money.
for the first ticket.
In a
The
second
employer
ticket, what
then gets
happens?
fined $11,000
Oh my God.
or can be fined up to $11,000. Do I think we need to have those kind of fines put on consumers?
No.
We don't need to do that.
No, of
But
course
if you're
not.
operating a school bus, if you're operating
A
a
trailer,
commercial
I don't
vehicle,
know,
a
the
trailer,
big- yes.
cement mixers,
Uh-huh.
do we really want those people updating their Facebook page while they're driving?
No.
I would say probably not.
But you see, this is the problem. When there's a date on the horizon, when there's men and women that get crazy. I mean, honestly, how can you control human nature? Victor, Dan, how do we stop human nature? Can we stop human
By
nature?
our Eyes Up application.
Yes, I love that. You see?
And we'll stop.
Yes, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's fine.
No,
That's
no,
fine.
it's not. No, it is
by
not
the
fine.
Eyes Up application, we want to put the Eyes Up application in every mobile phone in this country at some point, and that will will save lots of lives, prevent accidents, prevent property damage, and basically provide a good, safe environment for our children and everyone else out there.
What
That's the way I
about
feel
what
it.
about the world? Let's
Well,
dream
we'd
big.
love to take it global, but let's start with
Let's
our
start
own
with-
country right now. But
Yes.
global is definitely within
That's-
our scope.
Now, how do you guys sleep at night? I'm sorry that I'm